teams are tied for first atop the American League West. Also, the Phillies play the Diamondbacks. Arizona 2 games out of the final wildcard spot. WNBA Game 3, New York and Phoenix on ESPN2.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business's needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Quote today in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
He's got the
against Hawaii, because if this is the last time Fresno State plays Hawaii for quite some time, I want to just get a little nostalgic here at the top of the show.
It always felt like when Hawaii was doing really good, Fresno State was doing really bad. They were opposite years. I feel like the Hawaii had those quarterbacks. What's his name? Brendan.
Colt Brennan.
Colt Brennan.
Yeah.
When he was there, and they were ranked top 25 in the
They're going to the Sugar Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just felt like Fresno State wasn't competing as well, and they just didn't have any good games. But there's so many games that I remember that they were just battling it out to see whether it was here in Fresno or there in Hawaii. And that was the team that, it's always like, are we going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you had a really good team, and you feel like, oh, we're going to crush them. And you win by, a field goal or something like that.
Yeah.
And you're like, how? But at the end of the day, it was like, they weren't that good, but they played to our level.
It always felt weird. I want to look at, maybe the last, 15 matchups between Fresno State and Hawaii, but I get a sense, if I had to put my math on it, and I just had to put my money where my mouth is, I feel like any of the close games between these two teams always seems to go Hawaii's way. And if Fresno State just beat Hawaii outright, Fresno State would just beat Hawaii outright and it wasn't close. That's usually the two results we get, Jorge, when it came to Hawaii versus Fresno State. Either it was Fresno State blowout or a Hawaii close victory that made us frustrated in some form or fashion. So I didn't see it any other way in terms of it. I want to recall one Fresno State blowout. I saw a nostalgic thing on Twitter of a highlight. Fresno State dropping 70 on Hawaii back in I think 2005 when Fresno State was really good.
Paul Pinniger.
Yeah.
I remember that.
70 points at Bulldog Stadium.
Yeah, they had some really good receivers. I don't remember the name, but they were just and who they had a really good running back.
I wanted to ask Coach Hill. I wanted to see if I get Coach Hill, I'm like, did you run up the score just a little bit? Did you run up the score just a little bit on Hawaii there?
Just because I remember facing them so much.
Mm-hmm.
It was like on the NCAA games they were known as the rival.
Yeah,
but I don't remember that being the thing with San Diego State.
yeah.
Even though everybody said oh no, San Diego State.
Well, San Diego State was only in our conference. Has only been with us since 2012 in conference. So San Diego State was not a WAC team. They were Mountain West.
Yeah.
So,
and I mean, there's history there with San Diego State, but
yeah,
I don't remember playing them as much, especially when I was a kid.
Exactly.
I do remember the Hawaii nights because it was Saturday and I was staying up late watching TV and the game was usually on.
Right. Exactly. I feel confident that a win is in the cards, but I'm cautiously confident because you just never know, especially with how you feel. I mean, even a Jake Haynard Hawaii team lost to Hawaii. You know what I mean? They went to the islands and it was frustrating. So nobody is impervious to the draws that can happen, and suddenly you look up and it's 14-13 Hawaii mid through the third quarter, and you're like, what is happening? What is happening here? I certainly could feel that being something that'll be happening here. Fresno State putting out a release today, by the way. This is a reminder. I'm going to read word for word how to watch the Hawaii game because I think everybody is still a little confused on how it is. I'm just going to read this word for word for people. So Fresno State saying, Fresno State football game at Hawaii tomorrow will be aired locally in Hawaii on Spectrum Sports. Here is your how to watch information. Clearly, I don't think anybody is listening to this show in Hawaii, but if you are, all the games produced by Spectrum Sports will be available to Spectrum and Hawaii Telecom customers, not having to purchase a pay-per-view there. If you are watching outside of Hawaii, that is us, currently us. All games produced by Spectrum Sports will be available outside of Hawaii free on the Mountain West app or on any Apple or Android mobile devices only. So I wonder if that means only on our phones, only on the Mountain West app on our phones. And everybody has the Mountain West app on Roku and whatever and putting it on the television. This is the tricky part because I'm not exactly sure if that is possible, but I'll read this here as well. Please note that the game will not be available on smart TVs or desktop computers. So this sounds like a phone-only situation.
Yeah, I'm going to watch it through YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you can still AirPlay your phone to a TV, correct? Like,
yeah, but that's annoying though, because you always want to be on your phone checking something
True.
out, and all of a sudden, like, you can't because
yeah.
Yeah, it's an
Well,
option.
If you're getting together with friends, here's the thing: you're getting together with friends to watch this game. Someone seems to just have to sacrifice their phone, or maybe you rotate. Everybody rotates a quarter, getting their phone back, or something like that. I don't know. But that seems like the rotational move to happen in terms of it.
I'm going to give you guys a tip. Just go to regular YouTube.
Just search.
Fresno State versus Hawaii.
And maybe someone's doing something good for you. Maybe it's there, maybe it's not.
But you gotta search live stream.
Yeah. But
or live.
I'm not condoning or
Hey, it's YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
If you're lucky, you're lucky. Exactly. So that's what it is. Also, here's word for word, this part confuses me. Tomorrow's game will be available in the Fresno market for those fans who have access to Spectrum Sportsnet. So I don't know who that is. Whoever you are that has Spectrum Sports, bless you. I don't know who you are. There's got to be like 20 of you. You can get the game on that channel for you, available here in Fresno County. Also, you can get it in Tulare County. I don't see Madera County here. So if you're in Madera County and you have Spectrum Sports, you're out of luck, it looks like, in terms of it. So that's what you got for it there. Kern County also available as well. So that is what it is. You can also, obviously, they got the radio cast on the everything on the Bulldogs app as well. So you can listen to it that way. Anyways, so that's how you got it. Fresno State football, that's how you watch it. I mentioned it earlier in the week. Of course, Hawaii's going to make things just really – you have to be really sound in this facing this Hawaii team. They're 3-1, 3 wins at home, undefeated at home. They did beat Stanford this year. Stanford's not obviously Stanford from years past with, like, Andrew Luck and everything like that. But I will say this. It's going to be close to me. The key is tackling. I think the Bulldogs have been a little susceptible on the tackling side of things. They haven't really quite necessarily locked in that. I want to see better tackling, better angles in this football game. Ultimately, in my prediction, I feel like the Bulldogs will get the win. Like I said, cautiously confident in this football game tomorrow night. So I'm going to pick them to win. I think they'll cover as well. They're a 2.5-point favorite on the road. Jorge, I'm gonna assume you have the Bulldogs as well tomorrow night.
Of course, yes.
Any players you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow night's game, conference game when it matters here?
Like I want to watch EJ.
Of course you
really
do. Everybody does.
But he showed last week that he could throw, he could pass, he could run. This is going to be a more difficult defense he's going to face.
We'll see.
It's not going to be Kansas.
I get it.
Kansas, but I want to see if he's really up to that level or not.
I want to see Speedy Luke get a kickoff return for a touchdown. I want it for sure. So can't wait for it. Folks, Get a nap in tomorrow. I'm playing on my nap. I don't know if you're playing on your nap. Staying up till 1 a.m. watching this game. So 9 p.m. Pacific time. All right, Jorge, let's take a break. And when we come back, we're going to call Paul Metters. He's going to join us, get you all set for some Friday Night Lights, react to maybe some scores from last night as well. Get you set for high school football tonight. Paul Metters coming up next on the Lee's Air Hotline. Stay with us. Central Valley sports leader Behind the Bench rolls along next on 1430.
It's football season, and your headquarters for game day gear is at the Sports Station. Check out their new location next to Women's Macy's inside Fashion Fair Mall. From official NFL jerseys, hats, and accessories for the 49ers, Cowboys, Raiders, and Rams to Fresno State apparel that shows your hometown pride, the Sports Station has it all. Whether you're cheering on the pros or repping the dogs, get the licensed merchandise you need to look game ready. Gear up now at the Sports Station next to Women's Macy's inside Fashion Fair Mall.
Fresno's Greek Fest is back, celebrating a tradition of food, pastries, ouzo, dancing, and a whole lot of fun. It all happens the third weekend in September at First and Clinton behind the Fresno Art Museum. Greek Fest is cash-free, accepting all major cards. Check out FresnoGreekFest.com.
Protect yourself from epic disaster.
Today to discuss our partnerships.
Drum roll, please. KFC is bringing back the bold, craveable classic guests and fans have been asking for. Hot and spicy wings and potato wedges. For a limited time, the ultimate fan favorite pair will make all your game days this season even more delicious. And that's not all. While it feels like competitors are continuously making their food smaller and smaller, for the same price, the Kentucky Fried Chicken Sandwich remains bigger and better. Guests can get it for just $3.99 for a limited time. You can't beat that, only at KFC.
The wait is over. Toledo's Mexican restaurant, family-owned for over 30 years, is now open in Cedar Rainiz in Northeast Fresno. It's your spot for bold, authentic Mexican flavors and all your favorite sports games. Happy hour runs Monday through Friday, 2 to 5, plus weekends, Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 10 p.m., and Saturday mornings, 8 to 11 for college football. Enjoy $10 appetizers and $7 house margaritas. Toledo's, now with 3 locations in Clovis and Fresno. Order online at ToledosMexicanRestaurant.com.
Hey everybody, Paul Metters here, host of the Central Valley Sports Report. I want to give a big shout out to Clovis Stone, Masonry, and Landscape Supply, proud supporters of all high school athletics, especially our Clovis schools. For over 50 years, they've been the Valley's go-to for natural and artificial stone, brick, block, bark, hummus, you name it, they've got it, with fast delivery available. Find them on Sunnyside, just south of Clovis, or online at clovisstone.net. Ball improvement starts here at Clovis Stone.
Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. A little bit of change on this Friday show. Of course, usually we have this guy on at around 4 o'clock, but things are a little different. We got to get on the road faster than usual with our trip down to Visalia. I want to make sure we get down there in time for what should be a really awesome matchup between Redwood and Hanford. Paul Bender's now joining me on the Lee's Air Hotline. Paul, how are you doing on this Friday? How are we feeling?
Hey, this feels like the old days when I go on 1430 ESPN radio, sitting in my classroom, right, talking about high school sports before I got my own show. I'm halfway to Visalia, Phil, so I already got you beat.
Yeah, you already do. But we're going to meet up down the way and then get into our the Mineral King Dome, which is not dome, Mineral King Bowl. Could be a dome. I don't know. Who knows? It sounds like it should be. But it's going to be an interesting night between these two teams. Let's talk about it real quick. Two teams, 2-2 on the year, trying to get above 500. Two teams that have had up and down starts to the season. How would you characterize tonight's game between Redwood and Hanford?
I think we're going to see a lot of points. There's going to be a lot of fireworks. If you just look at the scoring for both teams, Redwood has scored 41 points, 34 points, 42 points on a loss to Tulare, and then last week they scored 35. And how about this, Hanford, right? You know, coming in last week's game against LD, they were 1-2. They just put up 74 points, right? So I think we're going to see a lot of back and forth stuff. We're going to see explosive plays. I think a key to the game for Hanford is they can't turn the ball over. They've had 6 turnovers in those 4 games, and they got to stop Jimmy Burke, a really good running back from Redwood, who we watched last year play. He's very talented. I think he's banged up last year in that playoff game against Kingsburg, but he's a talented kid. Redwood's got some really good athletes as well. Man, that barn burner 2 weeks ago against Tulare when they lost 49-42, that was a game that we had on our radar. I expect a similar type game as that one.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting on the Redwood side. I got a feeling they even though they're 2-2, the efforts they've had all throughout this season so far, you got to be happy with where you're at. Clovis North, just a 4-point loss to Clovis North, who I have high hopes for in terms of what they love. Clovis North's got San Ramon Valley tonight. Like you said, the Tulare Union team, who Tulare Union's got to win over St. Joe's. So these are two quality, if you had to say quality losses, if you're going in the college football terminology. Redwood's got 4 quality games on their schedule so far that they put together, and it feels like a team that if they get a win tonight, there's a lot going for them, especially in momentum into league play.
No, I agree. Yeah, I like their schedule a lot. Redwood, the MO for them the last few years has been, just play some pretty good defense and hope you score some points. But that doesn't look like that team this year. Curtis Allen has come in as the head coach. He's brought in some really good players. And how about this? A kid that we're going to be watching tonight at quarterback, Luke Sanchez. He's a really, really good defensive player, probably a D1 talent on the defensive side. Played a little quarterback his sophomore and junior year. They didn't plan for him to play quarterback this year, but their regular quarterback got hurt. In comes Luke Sanchez again. All he did was go 11 for 14 for 195 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. So that adds another dimension for this Redwood Rangers. And you think, again, about those 2 losses to Clovis North and Tulare Union, they're just a touchdown away from potentially winning those games. To me, those 2 teams are like top probably 8 teams in the Central section. So those are top 10 teams overall in the Central section. So Redwood, they're definitely battle tested.
As for Hanford, but to buck that trend,
really good games in the last few years. But, Coach Cannon Sanchez, he's got a great offensive mind. They spread things out. They try to get a playoff within, 8 seconds every time, which is crazy. It's always fun to watch their football games. They got a new quarterback in Jaron Mao, who has been at Bullard. He's been at Clovis West, and he's really found a home there. He's done a really good job getting used to that style of offense. But you're right, Phil. This is a big game for Hanford, and you think, right, us guys, we like to talk about playoffs and rankings, sometimes too early, and I know coaches focus on one game at a time, but looking ahead for playoff implications, because Hanford is going to be, not in that D1 AA bracket. I think this is going to go a long way, especially if they win this game as far as seedings go.
Yeah, to have the head-to-head, right? Paul, we talk about this all the time. Head-to-head means a lot, especially when it comes to the seeding side. Hanford, I mean, when things are close, if Hanford and Redwood are kind of in that similar spot, the rules will say Hanford's get the home game over Redwood per se, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I want to throw this in, Phil, because you just got confirmation. There was some talk about forfeit losses. I know Bakersfield had to forfeit their opening win against Buchanan. Edison of Fresno had a forfeit loss as well. I got confirmation that actually will not affect the high school ratings, because I noticed today while checking it out that Bakersfield is still listed as 4-0. Highschoolratings.com, where the playoff seedings come in, does not count forfeit losses as losses. So that's going to be interesting moving forward. Yeah. Interesting.
Speaking of that Bullard team, they played last night. Just going over some scores. Clovis gets a 35-0 win over Bullard. I'm sure they were playing a little bit in that rain, so a little bit of a weather game. Do you have any boots on the ground of that game? Did you get a chance to get out to McLean last night, or do you hear anything from that game last night?
Yeah, I heard a little bit. So I had my own football game, and I didn't get home till about 6:15. It took me an hour to drive home in that rain, so I'm like, I don't want to stay wet in that game. So I was just following on Twitter. Yeah, and it just looked like Clovis was in control from the beginning. Bullard, unfortunately, has suffered a few injuries, and Tyler Franklin just didn't look right in that game, according to what I was reading. And Clovis just did what they normally do. They have a very balanced offense. I saw that Deegan Rose still is not throwing an interception this year for the Clovis Cougars. So to me, that was just kind of business as usual for Clovis before going to their bye and then track.
Yeah. What do you assess of Clovis so far now that we got a full picture of their non-track schedule? 4-1, just the 1-point loss to Frontier earlier this year. What do you assess of Clovis now that you've seen it?
I still don't know, Phil. They start off with Buchanan and then Clovis North, and then you got the Clovis East, Central, and Clovis West as far as Clovis' schedule. I feel like I don't have a great beat on them yet until they hit league play. So we've seen this before. They'll go 4-1 or even 5-0 before league starts, and then league, we know how tough it is. So, their defense, has a few holes, even though they pitched a shutout against Bullard last night. Deegan Rose is as advertised. He's got a really good chance if he sticks with Oregon State to be their starter next year.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hold off, like really assessing Clovis High until they get into the meat of track play. But hey, all the pieces are on that team for a track championship. There's Central waiting in the wings as well. But Clovis has some pieces, but you got to get past Central East.
All right, let's look at some other games from around our region tonight, some notable ones that we'll be paying attention to on the Twitter sphere and the Max Prep scoreboard. I'm just going to kind of go down the list. I don't know if you got a list in front of you as well. Yeah. Let's start with what I see as a Max Prep ranked game. Clovis East back at home after their first loss of the year to Grant. Really tough battle between them and Grant. Really gave everything Grant could offer. They host Lemoore tonight. We mentioned this Lemoore team probably going to need some wins here. And I know this is going to be tough going tonight after their loss to Sangers. But what do you make of Lemoore traveling to Clovis East tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be tough for the Tigers. Clovis East, they showed us a lot in that loss to Grant. In fact, they had them beat, right? 10 seconds left. They did a little flare out with the running back, was able to catch the football and basically walk in for the touchdown. But Clovis East had that game. I mean, you do comparative scores, right? You got Grant that beat Clovis East, so, Central East. But, I see Clovis East. Their defense is so good. I see them winning by about 3 touchdowns.
Clovis West taking the trip up north to Turlock. Clovis West, obviously, they ripped off 3 straight wins since their opening week loss to Edison. What do you make of the Eagles' chances tonight at Turlock?
Very good. Turlock 1-3. There's been a lot of talk for people that follow high school football up and down the state with ineligibility, guys being declared ineligible, and not only that, but being ruled out for the next couple of years. It's pretty wild. Well, Turlock had that situation this year, and a bunch of guys declared ineligible. They're having a rough season, so I expect Clovis West to run away with that one.
Ranked matchup down in Kingsburg, near our territory. Sanger coming into town, also a 2-2 matchup. This is a big one for the Vikings in the Apaches tonight.
No, it is. Sanger, they're kind of up and down. They had that tough game against Hanford. Kingsburg, they went toe-to-toe in the first half against Clovis East. They actually had them beat at halftime. Unfortunately, Kingsburg's quarterback went down in that one. They weren't able to sustain their offense. But, hey, I mean, that's a game that most people expect Sanger to win. But if Kingsburg can keep that one close, right, I think, Kingsburg will be looking good because Kingsburg doesn't have an easy schedule either.
No.
Washington Union, CBC, Kerman, Reedley, and Selma when they start league.
Yeah, so you take the wins there when you got them. This matchup, I would say, this next one I wanted to look at, looked great on paper to start the year, but one team has really, really underperformed since we started this season. It's Central East is heading down to Bakersfield to take on the Liberty Patriots. We've seen Liberty with our two eyes, Paul. The eye test isn't working for us there, and it feels like Central East could have their way tonight.
Yeah, I think they're licking their chops. So I did a little research on Central East last night, and gosh, I knew this, but I had forgotten that Central East, the Central Grizzlies in the past, have been to 7 out of the last 8 Central Section championships, winning 4 of them. And, they've had their way with Liberty in the Central Section championship game, and Liberty's beat them in one as well. But, Liberty isn't the same Liberty as old, those teams that we remember with Coach Brian Nixon, and they were really exposed by Buchanan. I think Central, even though they're traveling down to Bakersfield, gosh, I think they just want to make a huge, huge statement in that one. I expect them to put at least 40, maybe even 50 points on them.
Wow. How about this sneaky good one? San Ramon Valley coming into Clovis North. Clovis North, one of the few undefeated ranked teams still left here in the Central Section, 3-0. I think one of the quieter 3-0s we've seen. We talked about them against Redwood here. We're going to actually get them next week against Frontier. This is a good out-of-section test for them. San Ramon Valley, a decently ranked team outside. I think I got them in the top 60 in the state of California, according to Max Preps. What do you make of this litmus test for Clovis North tonight?
Well, they keep winning, the Broncos, right? And we weren't quite we didn't quite know what to expect with Colby Hunter taking over the program. Just a different identity offensively. We're used to the Mike Jaycott teams of just running the ball down your throat, run for dough and throw for show. But this year's team's different. It's more of an air attack. They're putting up a lot of points. That crazy game that they had against Redwood where they had to score late to win that one. I can't wait to see. Let's put it this way: I can't wait to see Clovis North with our own eyeballs. We've seen all the other track schools, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the final score of that one's going to be. But I expect Clovis North to keep the pedal to the metal.
And I mentioned they play Frontier. Frontier, by the way, boy, they got a test tonight. Did you look up who they play? They play Lincoln out of San Diego. Lincoln's a number 9 ranked Max Preps California team, and I think they're like top 50 nationally football program. Frontier out of Bakersfield gonna have a tough one tonight against Lincoln.
Yeah, we still can't figure that team out, right? They only scored 2 touchdowns in their first game, and then they beat Clovis High, who we're saying could really challenge Central for a Central Section championship. And then, that Clovis North game is going to be really interesting when we see Frontier. But, yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure what to expect in that one.
Yeah, we'll see how close they can keep it.
Right, yeah.
I want to see if there's some other ones out there as well. There's some other good ones out there, some 3-0s that I want to acknowledge at the start of this year. Actually, how about a 4-0 with Madera? They're going up against a 3-0 Merced team out in Merced. I don't know if you got any intel from Coach Panelli on this one coming up. I know they're wrapping up their their pre-league play. Undefeated matchup there. It should be interesting.
No, it is. And, yeah, I did text KP, and he said it's going to be a tough game. They're 3-0. They got a pretty good running back. Defensively, they're not great. So KP he feels like they could have some success. You know, they got a stud freshman running back, and according to Max Preps, he's the Central Section leader in rushing yards. So they're going to try to run the football with him, and try to throw over the top when the opportunity presents itself. So that's going to be a pretty tough game for Madera.
I'm trying to see if there's any others out there. Paul, do you got any others that stick out to you in terms of it? I know I look at McLean and Sunnyside. That was a trouble area for McLean last year. You got to imagine that'll go McLean's way tonight with the way Sunnyside's been going this year.
Yeah, and look at McLean's 3 games. They're scoring like 55 points a game, having a running clock in the fourth quarter. So they have not yet been challenged. And Sunnyside is down this year. They've only won 1 football game. I think, with that McLean offense and Coach Pancotti, I think that's going to be, a 3 to 4 touchdown win for McLean. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at the Max Preps schedule here to see if anything pops up. Yeah, that Lincoln game against Frontier, right? That's going to be a really good one.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a good test. Here's one that's interesting for a bunch of reasons. Shafter is hosting Edison of Fresno.
Yes.
Right? And Shafter 3-0. One of their best teams in a long time. Edison, we know their troubles. They actually had to forfeit 1 game. The forfeit's up on Max Preps, but it's not on the high school rating. 10 years ago, no one would have ever imagined that Edison would be an underdog at Shafter. I think most people in the Fresno area would be like, yeah, Shafter is at that, town kind of near Bakersfield area. I'm not quite sure where it is, but yeah, Shafter is a favorite in there. So, yeah, if Edison could pull an upset, that'd be a good win for the Tigers.
I want to give a shout to another game here. How about Kerman at Dos Palos tonight? Dos Palos 2-2. They have an interesting schedule. They played Shafter. Shafter's really good.
Yeah.
Liberty, a tight game against Liberty. I don't know if you heard my Liberty interview with the Liberty of Madera Hawks. Ethan Dunn is a name people should be getting to know, the running back there. Liberty's 4-0. So Dos Palos gives them a tough test. Kerman's got to go to Dos Palos to play a non-league game. I think that'll be a tight game tonight. I'm keeping an eye on Kerman at Dos Palos.
No, I agree. And Dos Palos, man, they got a wonderful football stadium there. So, Kerman coming off of that D3 Central Section Championship, got their quarterback back. I mean, he's slinging the ball over the field. I was a little bit surprised with Kerman's loss last week, but I expect Kerman to win in that football game. But Dos Palos, first of all, it's not an easy drive, right? But Dos Palos got a good team this year.
One more for you. Dinuba at Washington Union. How about that one tonight?
I'm a Dinuba guy. Grew up in Dinuba. Coach C.J. Lester is a friend of mine. They got 2 wins in a row.
Beaten Kingsburg.
Yes, beaten Kingsburg. But Washington Union seems like every 4 or 5 years they have a really good football team. They kind of sneak up on you. And I know they've had some transfers, and you hear about this and this kid leaving and maybe this kid coming back. So it seems like they got a really good team, and they opened up a lot of eyes when they beat Justin Garza at Justin Garza.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it was last week or the week before, but that opened up a lot of eyes when Union beat Garza.
There's this slate. It's deep. It's a deep slate tonight, Paul. In terms of it, some other games I could mention. Lindsay at Woodlake tonight. Woodlake's been playing phenomenal football to start the year. Your Emmanuel group playing Avenel tonight.
Gosh, why did they even schedule that game? It's going to be a massacre.
And, of course, I cannot go without mentioning Sierra is at Tranquility tonight for Jorge's Tranquility Tigers. So, of course, I got to mention that for him there. Paul, we're excited to bring the game tonight to the folks. Of course, you got your show tomorrow. Can't wait for that as well. We'll dive into that. Actually, let's do a little quick taste of what you got tomorrow in case people don't hang around to the end of the broadcast. Well, she should. But what do you got tomorrow on the Central Valley Sports Report?
Well, I got you coming on, right? So everyone can tune in to listen to Phil Bonatti and Paul Metters chop it up. So, yeah, we'll chop it up tomorrow. But I got Coach Kyle Biggs from the Central East Grizzlies. He's coming on the show at 11. Excited to talk to him. And I got Travis, oh, my gosh, why am I forget his name? The Golden West coach.
Let's see. Do I got it?
Anderson.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes, the Golden West coach coming on the show. He's excited to come on. He's got it, man. They're putting up points. They put up 49 against Dinuba. They had to come back to beat North last week. So, yeah, they're a really strong team this year as well. So excited to talk about South Valley football. We can't forget about our South Valley friends.
Of course not. Of course not. And can't wait to chop it up down in Visalia tonight. We're going to be there for Redwood and Hanford. Pregame starting at 7 p.m., kickoff at 7:30 with Paul and myself on the call. Paul, can't wait. Can't wait to call this one with you.
I can't wait because you're driving here to Traver. I'm going to treat you to some Traver tacos, and then we're going to make our way down to Visalia. Yeah, excited about tonight.
All right, I'll see you down there. Paul, appreciate it as always, and we'll see you on the call.
All right, see you soon.
All right, Paul Metters here on the Lee's Air Hotline. All right, let's take another break, wrap up this hour, and then I got to hit the road. Like I said, got some good food to get to right after this on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's locals.
Football fans. Here with Behind the Bench. Big thing I think about with tailgates is the food, and the best place to get ready for it is visiting Grocery Outlet in Kerman, Sanger, and Fresno Southeast, Downtown, and Northwest stores. Stock up and save big on quality meats, snacks, drinks, beer, and wine, and same quality as the big chain stores, but at lower prices. And while you're there, sign up for the Tailgate Ready contest to win a pair of tickets to each Fresno State home game and $100 for your tailgate only at participating Grocery Outlet stores here in the Central Valley. Hey, it's Phil Bonatti from Behind the Bench for my friends at Valley Athletics, the new go-to sports facility in the Central Valley. Founded by Valley legend Vance Wahlberg and former Bulldog volleyball coach Jonathan Winder. Valley Athletics allows athletes to really shine at volleyball, basketball, and pickleball. Visit valleyathletics.co right now to learn more about enrolling in our current volleyball and basketball offerings that include league play. That's valleyathletics.co. Proud sponsors of high school athletics.
Hey, Bulldog fans, Marcus McMarron here. You know, on the field, it's all about trust, performance, and results. That's why you got to go to Ed Dina's Auto Center. They treat you like family with unbeatable prices and a winning lineup of new and pre-owned vehicles. Don't just sit on the sidelines. Get in the game with a ride you can count on. Visit Ed Dina's Auto Center today, where the deals are always a touchdown.
One of the most important keys to success is teamwork. Just like the Bulldogs football team, Fresno Rack has assembled a great team of their own. An industry leader in warehouse pallet racking and industrial warehouse shelving, Fresno Rack is truly your full-service one-stop shop. In-house department, in-house installation crews, and of course Fresno Rack's sales team is second to none. Whether you're looking to just fine-tune your warehouse and make it more efficient, or you're building a new warehouse and need a turnkey from start to finish, Fresno Rack is here to help. Call, click, or visit Fresno Rack today.
Get ready for the ultimate Monday Night Showdown, only at Chachansey Gold. Starting September 8th through December 29th, win your share of $80,000 in giveaways, including $51,000 in e-cash. Earn entries all day Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Then join us for drawings every Monday from 5 to 8 p.m. Swipe your rewards card during the game inside Firehouse Lounge for a free entry into over $1,000 in prizes, including football gear and more. Game day starts here at Chachansey Gold.
Can you help me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm helping someone else right now, but I'll be right back.
Introducing the Unhelpful. Real quick.
I haven't forgotten you.
Miss!
Uh-huh!
Can you help me? No.
So the help's not that helpful? You should probably come to Fresno Ag Hardware. All the hardware you need and the help to find it.
Dell Technologies wants to celebrate all your hard work with these Small Business Month specials. Get great value offers on powerful laptops, desktops, and servers with Windows 11 Pro starting at $499, plus top monitors and docks, all with easy financing options through Dell Financial Services. It's the perfect time to upgrade so you and your team can stay secure from anywhere. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL to refresh your business tech with these Small Business Month specials. Dell recommends Windows 11 Pro for business.
$1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Getting to it here on our show. Last little bit before we say goodbye. little reminder of the schedule before we say goodbye. Like I said, tonight, 7 p.m., Hanford in Redwood. Tonight, 7 p.m., 7:30 kickoff live on 1430 ESPN. Over on 790, a little special baseball doubleheader tonight. Jorge, just make sure I got it right here. A's and Pirates currently playing right now out in Pittsburgh. And then after that, we'll have the Giants and the Dodgers from L.A. By the way, tough loss last night. I actually watched that game last night, the Giants and the Dodgers. And there were moments the Giants could have got it done, and they just could not find the magic hit. Just one hit last night after getting walked 10 times it felt like.
Yeah, 10 walks.
It just feels like the story of the Giants season. I'm kind of out on it now. I think the chances are diminished pretty handily now.
Yeah, I mean, mathematically?
Mathematically, no. You're still in it, but spiritually.
Spiritually, yeah.
I'm kind of out of it.
It's such a mountain to climb.
Yeah.
I don't think we have that in us, but go out with a win against the Dodgers won't be bad.
One day at a time. One day at a time. That's simply where it is. One day at a time for the Giants. So that's what they got to do. Tomorrow we'll have Central Valley Sports Report with Paul Metters from 10 a.m. to noon, live from First Drink Sports. We'll have the Giants and the Dodgers right here on 1430, 5:40 pregame, 6:10 first pitch from L.A., and then the A's and the Pirates are going to be at 3 p.m. with a 3:35 first pitch from Pittsburgh over on 790. Sunday, we're going to have the Rams and the Eagles, 9 a.m. pregame on 1430 with a 10 a.m. kickoff. Following them will be Niners and Cardinals as soon as the Rams-Eagles game concludes. After the Niners and Cardinals game at 1 o'clock, we'll have the Chiefs and the Giants from New York. Over on 790, just a solo football game for you folks over there. It is the Raiders and the Commanders, 9:30 pregame with a 10 a.m. kickoff from Washington, D.C. Officially, Adam Schefter saying Marcus Mariota starting for the Washington Commanders in that football game. So the Raiders, at least with a little bit of a glimmer of hope in this one out in Washington. It also appears that even though Brock Purdy has practiced the last 3 days, it appears that Mac Jones is preparing to start for this game against the Arizona Cardinals for the 49ers. So that is the news items up to this minute as we speak. We'll be back Monday, Sportsline Bulldog Hour, Tony D, 2 to 3 p.m., and then we'll have my show for 2 hours before we send it off to Monday Night Football between the Ravens and the Lions in Baltimore. Be sure to stop by me and Ed's Victory Grill for Major Wager with Carter, Joe, myself, and eventually Jorge will make his way out there one day. Have some fun. Yeah, he'll be out there.
One of the days.
One of these days. One of these days. Jorge will show up and enjoy some free pizza. Courtesy of me and Ed's. All right, Jorge, what are you watching this weekend?
A lot of soccer.
What's on the soccer field? Yeah, what do we got?
Premier League is back, so some exciting games. Basically, also a pretty good matchup in the Spanish league.
Yeah,
between the Barcelona team. Can't remember that. It's not Barcelona. It's the other team. That's why I'm like. But you know who owns it? Who owns the team?
Who?
TJ Watts.
TJ Watt? Oh, the Watts? The Watt brothers?
Yeah, the brothers, yeah.
Wow. All right.
JJ's the one that comes out.
Okay.
He owned a Premier League team, but I think it went down.
Interesting.
And now he owns part of the Spanish team. So.
Interesting.
So I saw him with a hat, and I was like, oh, Español. That's the one.
Español.
That's the one and I saw him with the Español hat, and I was like, why is he wearing that?
Right.
So then I searched it, and all of a sudden he's in all of these pictures with a bunch of fans of Español in the streets, and and they celebrated like their win, and they were in the second division last year, so they're up in the first this year. So it's quite a journey
for sure. What I'm watching this weekend, we got a number of college football games on the slate, I think, for our viewing pleasure tomorrow. How about Texas Tech at Utah, ranked matchup, 3-0 versus 3-0. That's kicking us off at 9 in the morning. How about some Auburn, Oklahoma, 12:30, ranked teams, 3-0, 3-0. May I interest you in Indiana and Illinois at 4:30 on NBC? Over there, 3-0 versus 3-0.
Neighboring states fighting each other.
May I interest you in Florida at Miami at 4:30?
I feel like those games used to be like at the end of the season.
Yeah. And may I interest you, and you will probably be interested, how about 8 p.m. Michigan State at USC? Both teams 3-0. Finally ranked USC for you, Jorge.
Yeah. After the beatdown they put on, who was it, the last team?
Georgia Southern. I believe it was Georgia Southern. Rough times in terms of that. Michigan State 3-0. By the way, local kick for the Michigan State people who are watching that game, 11 p.m. Can you imagine? Can you imagine staying till 11 p.m. to watch
It's going to be a crazy night for me because there's going to be a bunch of like late games.
Yeah.
There's also late soccer games for the Mexican league.
Mm-hmm.
There's also from Baku, Saudi Arabia, or I think it's Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
The F1 racing.
Oh, that's right.
So it's coming.
Big naps coming for Jorge on the Saturday.
I think I'm going to stay up all night.
I would recommend, and this is my recommendation for all Fresno State folks who are staying up, and anybody who's just staying up for all the sports. Big nap around. I would say the key nap time is around 2:45 to about 4:45. That is, you fit a nap in between those two times, you're solid the rest of the evening. But my nap strategy always is it's only a 30-minute nap. It's not a 2-hour where did my life go nap. I've had those. And I don't
wake up all like, what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. Where did my life go? What happened? It's suddenly dark outside. How did this happen? I've had that numerous times, and it's not fun. Where are some good kind of hidden gem games tonight as well? Syracuse at Clemson. I'm interested in that one tomorrow. What else do we got? How about Purdue at Notre Dame tomorrow? Temple at Georgia Tech. I'm interested. West Virginia, Kansas. I want to see Kansas again. Kansas has played some decent football. What else do we got? Boise at Air Force. I'm interested in that as well. I think that's kind of where I leave it at. So that is what I'll be watching. Cal at San Diego State. I think I'm interested in that one as well. Of course, we got the baseball this week, and we'll be mildly watching it. But if the Giants do happen to win 3 in a row, they happen to win 3 in a row,
I'll be happy with that.
We'll be back Monday to react to it all, of course, and all the NFL action, all of the college action.
And they say they couldn't be done.
And they say it couldn't be done as far as that's concerned. So, all right. We're going to sign off now. We have to head down to Visalia. At least I do. Jorge will be here pushing the buttons and making everything happen. For those who, of course, are going to be signing off, we'll be back 7 o'clock tonight for our game. Pre-game down at the Mineral King Bowl. I don't know why I keep calling it a dome. But anyways, we'll be down at the Mineral King Bowl for Hanford and Redwood. Jorge, good show from you.
Great show.
We'll see you tonight, 7 o'clock for Friday Night Lights. See you then.
At Citizens Business Bank, we've been taking a personal approach to banking for over 40 years. And